Hello and welcome back everyone to our War on the Sea Let's Play series as the Imperial Japanese Navy. We are of course still using the Pacific mod and going through the Pacific campaign. Looking at the enemy losses screen today to begin with, just to remind ourselves exactly what happened in the previous video and to catch up on the tallies and scores between ourselves and the Allies. We did previously sink a Sims, Gleaves and both Java light cruisers, which is very nice indeed. We are sinking a lot of light cruisers recently and a few oilers and such in between. We haven't sunk anything rather massive since the Arizona on the 10th of June. We are now on the 22nd of June 1942. We have sunk a total of 382 enemy ships and sunk quite a large number, 3.1 million tons of shipping there. Absolutely brilliant, but that's not without losses on our side either. Ours are largely destroyers over here, and that is absolutely painful for us. We even lost a Sendai over here, which are extremely limited. I think only 3 or 4 in that series in total. Rather nasty indeed. We lost a couple of Yugamos, Sashios, Akatskis, a couple of Fubikis here and there. Really nasty indeed, because of course it is the destroyers which are very limited. Well, everything being Japanese is of course very limited compared to the Americans. But I'd rather, of course, even though they are limited, I'd rather lose the destroyers over heavy cruisers and battleships, of course, and heaven forbid our carriers. So we can certainly live with this. This is 17 losses in total, and we've lost nearly 1,000 aircraft. Shows how inefficient we are, I think, with that. Although we are, of course, going to lose a lot of planes if we do go straight in with those large formations without softening them up with some submarine attacks and such beforehand. But not to worry. We are doing fairly decent in the grand scheme of things. We are starting to project our power into the Dutch East Indies as well. As for the dockyard, we do have a couple destroyers there. It's going to take rather a long time to repair those. I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what the damage was to these ships, but it's clearly rather substantial there. As things are, we do have the Nizuki going back. This is an Akazuki class destroyer coming back. I got hit by a single torpedo while hunting a submarine down here. We can see that we have an enemy submarine outside of Truk as well. Nothing really too close to hit that. Unfortunately, we can't send anything out with depth charges here. I think Mavises can carry them. They certainly can, but an update previously in this mod meant that submarines are always submerged when you enter the tactical view. I do remember previously in our American series previously, where we were hunting submarines which were already surfaced with rocket-armed lightnings and such. So that's no longer going to be the case there, of course. This does mark a carrier over here. But after reviewing the previous video, this is actually just a couple oilers, unfortunately. Nothing to get too excited about there. Can't even threaten Truk since it's just a couple oilers, unfortunately. We are hunting a group over here. I believe it's a few light cruisers once again coming towards Truk with our Yamato task force. And that actually might want to go and replenish its armaments. Not necessarily too low here. We can certainly go for a surface engagement. But just thinking about it, we do need, however, a lot of supplies onto Truk. We are coming down with about 400 or so supplies. Certainly not quite good enough. This task force over here is coming with, what do we have? 1.2, 2.4 thousand supplies. That will certainly do for a good time there. That is going to take a long time to get there, though. That's actually going to take roughly 60 hours if we round that up. So, just going to have to wait. But we do, of course, have our CVs here, Kaga, Shokaku, and supported by Taiyo as well. We're just going to come a little closer over here because we are going to attract the airfield attentions of Kozrai and Pompeii over here. But otherwise, we're really just hoping for enemy carriers to come around and still searching for a large invasion task force between Okinawa and Iwo Jima. We have a lot of assets over here to hunt that down, a lot of scouts, just rather unlucky. Where is the weather tab? You can see why we're not having great luck because of this heavy storm cover over here, heavy cloud layer all across the northern Pacific there, close to our homeland and around Manila and such. Really nasty there for us. So, aim of today, just push in again. I might be very tempted, in fact, to go from Puerto Princesa with some troops and supplies from there. What have we got on minor resupply? Coming back home from that. Might be tempted to go for Brunei. That is going to be rather a hard target. I think that's going to have to be bombarded by this particular invasion group over here. But that's going to be somewhat on the tough side though, because we are somewhat low on ammunition. That does need to resupply. So that's going to be our next target, but it's going to be in the long run there, so it's going to take a lot of time to cycle that around. We can of course pick up our supplies from Manila as well, and we are going to bring our reinforcements from Kure down as well to do that, but I think we do certainly need to resupply our ships first. We do have engineering task force coming down to drop engineering and fuel onto Puerto Princesa for that. So I think we can sit around here and keep our Taiyo in play as need be. So let's keep going and see what we can do while hunting today, shall we? Alrighty, so after a day or so has passed, we have noticed just outside of Puerto Princesa, once again, the enemy's really concentrating their efforts in this area, quite likely because we have quite a number of assets in this region ourselves. We've sighted a minor task force. We have a Cleveland once again and a county escorted of course by a smattering of destroyers. We've sent out our Zuihos, Kates armed with torpedoes. We're certainly going to come down with those. I think we're certainly going to do that straight away. Go down to 40 meters. And what we're going to try and do is we've launched some Puerto Princesa based nails armed with 800 kilogram armor piercing bombs, and we're going to focus down the Cleveland for this. That's the only ship I really want to try and sink if possible in this particular attack. So that's what we're going to try and do today. However, I am going to send one group of Kates over towards the county, I think, like so. That's going to take quite a while. In fact, I won't lower their altitude to a torpedo attack just yet, because I will make sure we're targeting this Cleveland with the rest of our Kates there. We're going to send our nails over towards that Cleveland pretty much straight away. Going to send them overhead if possible, slow down so that we can turn around a tad, but not too majorly. We're going to increase their altitude a little bit as well. And we're going to keep them in their current formation at the moment, just because I am of course expecting that Cleveland to turn and maneuver away from our attack there. I think I'm going to actually increase the speed of this particular flight here, so that we're somewhat staggered, and so that we have to ruin their AA a little bit. You can see they're already trying to hurt us, possibly just out of range. There's 5.1 kilometers away from them. I don't think that really is just out of range there. We can double check, of course. Why don't we do that? So just to make sure we know what we're doing. Let's go to CL, and we go to Cleveland, go to armaments, and the range is 15 kilometers on there. It says dual purpose on their secondaries. So there we go. Now I can see they're opening up. Not entirely sure how this is working here. Let's go straight over. We can actually increase the speed here. There we go. Now, how's that going? I think we might actually want to line ahead with this. We form up here. Keep the Kates out just a little. Slow down the speeds here. I don't know about line aheading from here actually. I think we will go for a Vic once again, because we're getting the broadside of that target now. Slow down a tad because they're coming into our attack zone, and we'll press attack from here now that we're in formation. Need to really come in quick with these following nails though. Getting fairly close to the drop zone here. Quite a wide formation here. Hope we get one or two just to slow this down. Just to slow this down. Be very nice indeed, but there we go. And we are going to tell these nails, now that we've lost one, to come out as quickly as possible. Go to their nose, increase our speed and our altitude if possible there. Going to have to be very careful with these Kates though. I think we don't need to come in too wide here with that unit. Keep that altitude up for now. Just come down a tad. How are we doing though? Looks like we just missed. You can see a couple bomb splashes there. Rather unlucky on this actually. Rather unlucky indeed. Okay, so we're coming in with our Kates onto the county now. Going to come straight in here for that attack. Come from its rear. Tell these guys to attack. We somewhat whiffed this one. I was trying to get too many cinematic shots there. So we have whiffed that bombing run onto the Cleveland, but not to where we're going to come in with a hammer and anvil attack with these two Kates over here. I'm not liking this lead, but so we've learned our lesson. We're not going to faff around anymore here. And then again, we weren't exactly hoping to sink this county outright, just to damage it. That's not looking too bad actually from this angle here. Might take 1, 2 if we're very lucky here, but I think it's going to just pass the bow there. Certainly is, but 1 torpedo midships is very nice indeed. How are we doing with this Cleveland over here? I think what we do, that's just this ship over here. Guess our binocular views out. I think we just turn straight in here. Should be fine. Increase our speed a tad so we can come in with this group who does need to turn more directly against this Cleveland. We will increase our speed to come in a bit better there. So it's a shame about the Cleveland, but another case of mismanagement from me, but not to worry there at all. Not the most threatening once again. I think we can certainly tell these guys to attack very soon, but we're just going to watch out for this group who should be told to attack now, I think, since they're so close. I think we will try a manual drop with this group here. Slow down, come out a tad, increase our speed, just get a bit of range there. We are focusing their flak like so, and then we can turn around. If we decrease our speed, we'll get a very nice tight turn into that. Give that some lead there. Here we go. The first group has in fact dropped. We're going to have to come right at the rear of this ship, and I think we drop about here. So we have lost the lead plane there. This one has been made separate now. Just drop here. That's going to possibly miss. I just hope it activates. Really not looking so bad on that first drop. That's going to take a good couple of torpedoes. That's very nice indeed. And that might even be a third. Oh, it's a dud! Oh no! Very unlucky there indeed. We have lost those Kates, unfortunately. But we have got these ones on the retreat now, which is very nice. So we'll get some return there. But the county looks like it's taken a lot of damage from that single torpedo there. That's really lucky indeed. Here's Cleveland. Ooh, very lucky to take that on the nose there. Nice stray torpedo. But so we have focused a lot of the damage by the looks of it on that nose. Let's take a quick action report on that. So it is heavy to heavy, so we can wait around to see how that develops, but I won't hold my breath. 1 to 3 torpedoes on that Cleveland. 4 would have certainly brought it down. But not to worry there. Not to worry at all. Very nice indeed. Well, as you can see from the battle reports here, the Cleveland has gone from heavy to moderate flooding, so that is dealing with that damage quite well there, so I don't think it will sink, unfortunately, but not to worry indeed. Rather a large sacrifice there for very little gain, if any at all, but I can certainly live with it. We have our invader support group over here with some battleships and heavy cruisers and such very close by. I'm actually more scared of the Cleveland there in a surface engagement because of the amount of firepower it can bring at such a great rate of fire as well. But I think now that we've damaged it, it should just take a few shells to finish that off. I think what we're going to do then is bring this task force more directly towards that. It'll take 3 hours to get there. Hopefully the task force is going straight for us. We're going to absolutely have to launch out to some fighters to deal with these incoming torpedo bombers though, aren't we? go to invading support, get out our Zuiho and launch some. It's not ready quite yet, but not to worry, so we'll certainly get there in time to do that. Alrighty, so it's looking like we've picked up, yeah, you can see in the distance over here, we've picked up some enemy torpedo bombers. Rather nasty indeed. Exactly what do we have? We have some Beauforts. Okay, so they're going for our supply interceptor group, and that's not ideal at all because we have some rather horrible AA weaponry on here. Really not good enough at all. We're going to, of course, get up some smoke cover here to piss off the enemy, and we're going to try move as a formation to begin with, just get a decent speed up, try and turn away. What are we doing with our Zeros? We have them on fire at will. Might leave them there for the minutes just to get these planes before they dive down. It doesn't look like they're making too much effort to dive down. They are armed with torpedoes. This one is Cersei trying to dive down over here. It looks like we have most of our planes actually going for the middle group over there, which is not ideal. Don't want that at all because this group will certainly make it towards our ships fairly easily there. Let's try and spread out to some attack orders here just to get something going a bit better. This Zero is going over for the single Beauforts over here. I think we can deal with that quite handily. Should be a bit better geared for that. I think we really want to ask our Zeros to slow down if possible because we're just overshooting these planes. Need to struggle, of course, with the altitude attack here as well. Can we get some shots out here? Is that going to hit? Not letting us go for the manual attack. There we go. Lovely stuff. What I'm doing on the back over here. This one's smoking, so we've got some sorts of hits on. Can we slow down? We're letting us slow down here. It's very fickle with how it wants us to command our planes. Looks like we're getting some here very nicely though, so it's very, very good if we can get just a couple down here because our group, as suggested, going to deal absolutely horribly with any incoming attack planes. We're really only relying on tiniest bits of flak and largely small arms. That's of course last minute defences there. So how many have we attacked and downed? Only got one left, and that is this one over here. I think we can certainly deal with that quite well. Getting onto the back over here with this Zero, I think, would be the best over here. Can we see this one? Oh, there it is. There's a lot on there, but I think we're going to overshoot this a bit with our approach. Get out some shots here, and that'll be that down. Excellent stuff. So a minor engagement, but certainly important. If they got any number of torpedoes onto our light cruisers here, they would have gone down. I think, yeah, Nagara's got some pre-existing damage on the nose here. And on this general compartment, you can see the funnel's somewhat hurt as well. The Kuma's absolutely fine. I think our destroyers are fine. Yeah, just a little bit of damage on the nose here. But these really... Oh, we have something else, do we? Okay, that's not good at all. That is some bomb-equipped both fighters there. Nasty. And they're coming in for a low-altitude bomb. Are we going to be able to come in quick enough here? That's the question. Is the question. Just increase our speed if possible over here. Get some over like that. So we're going to have to increase our altitude perhaps. They are coming in for quite the low-altitude bomb. Let's get some Zeros out as quickly as possible. I'll pause there. Yeah, it looks like the auto fire ability is on there quite nicely. What have we got here? Another one. Yeah, it's quite a few in fact. We've not sighted anywhere near all of them. It looks like they're probably going to go for the dogfight first, and that would certainly do us a favour. But we've got some more torpedo arm Beauforts over here. Not liking that at all. Certainly to prioritise those. Oh my god, there's loads of them. We need to move away. I think we get the Nagara up here. Kuma turn around as well. Hadakazi I think should really turn in, as well as the Yugao really. It's just a race against time. They are taking the dogfight with the bow fighters. But I would love to get the torpedo arm planes, which are coming in very, very close indeed. We're going to have to slow down our speed here so we don't overshoot with our approach. It's being very free here to allow us that actually. Yeah. Oh, we've already dropped, so we need to watch out over here. Let's increase the turn, perhaps slow down a tad, but I don't think this is actually the target. I think they're actually going for the Yugao over here. If we sight those torpedoes, we certainly can. Perhaps actually turn out away from them at this point And make sure the Narakaze over here is turning away as well. They dropped with this group. Probably just doing it and really waiting actually to hit this light cruiser. So we're going to slow down but keep our turn there. Just about avoiding hits there, I think. As long as the Narakaze over here avoids torpedoes as well. Just actually halt with the Yuga because we will turn back into those torpedoes given the chance there. And we'll halt with the Harakaze at the moment. Watch out over here because you can turn into these torpedoes as well on our starboard side. How are we doing in the air attack? Looks like we're doing okay. Don't know if we've lost any zeros. I haven't been paying attention. Doesn't look like we have just yet, which is very good indeed because bow fighters are rather formidable there. Now we have just about stopped in front of this. Let's go straight. Get rid of the smoke because I can't see a ruddy bloody thing on the surface there. I don't want to have to rely on the map. It's not looking great for us though. Let's turn out a tad. I think we're okay with the Narakaze there. We can just stop with that. Chasing off those Beauforts. Yeah, and there we go. You can see the torpedoes here, so I think we can just stop once again. They won't hit us. All looking good. Oh, take a deep breath. Take a deep, deep breath. Who are we attacking over here? I think we should certainly go for the approaching fighter over here with a couple planes. Be very nice indeed. Already attacking. That is brilliant. Are we chasing down these bow fighters? Okay, we certainly need to increase our speed. We can catch up with them quite handily, actually. Let's change our targets because I think we're focusing on one plane very specifically there. We don't necessarily want that. What are we doing over here? Get some range shots out perhaps? Come on. There we go. Lovely, lovely. Just turn our speed down so that we can turn into these planes here. Keep a nice distance. Not quite guessing that, but we do have some follow-up zeros over here. Just on the backs. Hear any defensive fire going off? Yeah, just double checking those torpedoes are looking very nice indeed. So is it just the one plane left? We have lost one plane. That's absolutely fine. Can certainly lose a zero over losing a ship. Not entirely sure what we're doing over here. It looks like they've forgotten their orders, or forgotten there's another plane about. Alrighty, so rather an interesting situation here. We've actually got an enemy group, looks like an invasion force actually, just north of Okinawa. Looks like they're threatening our homeland more than anything else. Very chance encounter. We're watching a load of enemy scouts, catapult planes coming out of the middle of the ocean. Thought we'd send some Emily's armed with 500 kilogram bombs out from Sasebo to have a little poke around. Really wasn't expecting anything quite like this, so we're going to go for the hospital ship, of course. That tasty, tasty target there. And with the low weight of 500 kilogram bombs as compared to the usual 800 kilograms, we can certainly do some damage if we get some nice hits on here. I think we're going to line ahead with this group. We're going to slow down our speed because we have reached quite a great altitude at the moment, aiming for 2.1 kilometers in altitude. We can slow down, that'll give us more time to focus our target. Don't need to open any bomb doors for these attacks, as Emily's certainly do not have them, of course. I think we just turn into them a little there, and we will slow down our speed once again. And what we do is turn in just a tad, just watch ourselves there. No need to over maneuver there, is there? No need to over maneuver. I think we just turn in a tad there. That'll be about right by the time it gets over. And that's not looking too bad at all, so we will drop now. There, everyone, look at that, very, very nice indeed. And we will tell our Emily to get out very nicely there. Let's go. Increase our speed a tad, but not so much we can't turn sharply. Yeah, it's not looking so bad, but of course the turn there's going to throw us off. Probably should have gone for a wider formation on that. Not to worry. Not to worry, a few hits should do us some good there. How's that going to go though? Oh, that's so unlucky. Just strafed it there. Very, very unlucky indeed. Do I spy? Do I spy? I certainly do a Northampton in this group as well. Okay, we haven't seen one of these for a while. Is that the last of them? That might well be. If we go to CA, Northampton is the last one. It's the Houston. Excellent stuff. Alrighty. Okay. We do have a Cleveland as well. Jervis. Okay, so it's rather a nasty group of the Marne here as well. But so we can turn out and retreat. So looks like we're actually staying in their area there. So lots of destroyers. Clemson actually there. New type destroyer as well. There's not much more we can do on that attack. So what we're going to do is mark that up. So full group. 1, 2, 3 transports there. A loss of carrier power. So that's just over here. Very interesting place to find that. I'm going to mark that up as supplies. So these were launched from Sasebo, so we're going to return those to base. Unfortunately, there's not much on Okinawa to help with that, I don't think. Bring out some Toryus for support to help strafe things down. What could we bring else over here otherwise? Some Suisei's might be decent. Shanghai is only level 1 airfield, but some Mavises might do some damage. We do have our supply interceptors over here. Fairly comfortable taking on that in a surface engagement with both Congo type battleships over there. It's just a question of, are they going for Sasebo or are they going to try and sneak around to Okinawa? Okinawa is what they're scouting. Don't have any torpedoes. Only got 2 torpedoes in this group here. On this submarine. We don't have anything in between there. We do of course have Kure with a level 2 airfield. It's only really Suisei's and Kamikaze Zeros. Not that they're necessarily bad. They'll certainly get the job done. Interesting. I think we leave it there, guys. That might be all we have time for. Leave on a massive cliffhanger for our next episode, I think. So we come back with a fresh brain and see what we can do about that, I think. So I hope you have enjoyed the video today. Thank you very much for watching once again. Please do leave your comments and feedback in the section below. In the meantime, I've been the Edified Gamer, and I hope all of your nights and days are auspicious. Goodbye.